미유 선배님 잠 깨신 것 같습니다.
Mita, you can call me Mita. Red hair, red tie, hiding in your Wi-Fi. Oh, 10 seconds, and I one can find me. Yeah, your music is running through my mind. I'm thinking Mita, Mita, only you. 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 I'm on top of the world because of you. All I wanted to do is follow you. I'll keep singing along to all of you. I'll keep singing along.
All right, welcome to another week. And since last week we had the Johnny Somali trial, I thought we'd go over or react to all the videos regarding it and post the trial. So I'll play this for a minute and be right, or play a bit, but I'll be right back.
So let's get into the presentation. I'm just going to go through it and then I'll hit everything. Now, a lot of people are getting this confused today. So I want to make sure I'm very accurate for you guys because this is confusing. So if you are confused about what went down and what happened, pay very close attention to what I'm going to say today. Because this is the details and the procedure is important. And what is going to screw Johnny is that he has no idea about the procedure. We're going to explain it today on this stream because he's been talking all sort of smack like he knows what's going to happen. In fact, this is a great one. I'm going to play this clip. He said he was going to go to court and plead insanity. I'm not making this up. Let me pull this up here real quick, right? Yeah, so he said he was going to go, look at this. This is from his drunk stream. He said he was going to make a plea of insanity. Let's watch this.
When I go...
I don't know about much court, but I don't think you can plan to plead insanity. I think you have... I mean, you can, but usually pleading insanity isn't the best idea.
Go to the judge tomorrow and say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm mentally ill.
By the way, he was drunk, and I believe he made a comment that he might have been high/on pills. So this is, by the way, all this is going to be saved. I have all of this. It's going to the prosecution. Don't worry, guys.
I don't know what's going on. I have a bipolar disorder. And what may I do? I left my medication in America. I don't know what's happening, Your Honor. Please help me. I am a psychopath. I plead mentally insane. And they say, okay, go home with a fine of $500. What is this?
It would be $500,000. If you want to compare U.S. to Korean money, it'd be 500,000 won, which equals to $500.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night.
Well, I think I'm that ninja he was talking about because he was just like, he was pretty much coping and seething and targeting me his whole stream last night. What I'm going to say is that didn't happen, Johnny. You're stuck here. You don't even have your next trial date to even plead guilty or whatever the hell else you want to do. You don't even have that for another month. And then it's going to be way longer until this trial is over, even if you plead guilty. Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
You're in for a rough one, buddy.
Good to see him just absolutely get smacked in the face, realizing he knew nothing. That's what you get when you get law advice from Hank. Let's get into the recap. And I'm going to start from the beginning of my PowerPoint. So he was 1 hour late. He lied to his lawyer. He said he was going to get there in 15 to 20 minutes. He took an hour. He also said he had a stomach ache. And when he showed up, he was clearly intoxicated and or hung over something. And what I have a little hypothesis that perhaps his lawyer saw him or heard him and was like, yo, you need to sober up. That's a little hypothesis. He was not looking good. He was not looking good at all. So 1 hour late, and of course, he comes in. Let me skip the MAGA hat for now. It's Johnny and Hank forever. Okay, so they're together, and you could have sworn they were so close together, Johnny and Hank, that you could have sworn they were holding hands. I mean, really, there's an attachment going between those two. Now, mind you, it has been confirmed they live together. And one little surprise of the proceedings, which I didn't mention, I wanted to get a laugh. I didn't mention this, is at one point during the trial, they ask you your address in Korean, and Johnny didn't know it. He's like, oh, I live in Songpa, in this area. I don't know where it is because I don't know, I don't know. And then they ask him, well, do you know the apartment number? And he goes, I don't know Korean. And this is great. This is great. So he says, do you know the apartment number? And Johnny says, I don't know it in Korean. You know what the judge says? Say it in English. Because the judge understands numbers in English. She understands 1 and 5 and whatever else, right? I'm not going to dox them, I'm not going to dox the Jamshil office tel they live in. I don't want to give away anything or violate any TOS or anything. I'm just saying, he couldn't even say numbers. This guy was clearly coming off as an idiot. And you saw the judge is a master of not giving away their expression. They're a master of not wearing it on their face. But you could tell he thought he was an idiot, right? The way he said it is the words. But they were definitely attached to the hip. And one other thing was, let me go here. Johnny's outfit.
Oh, hello. Interesting. Hello. Welcome.
His suit looked like this. He was wearing a white suit that was like 3 sizes too big. It was clearly Hank's suit. He was clearly wearing Hank's suit. It was like a white suit.
So he's sharing a suit with him because he doesn't have any other clothes left.
It was absolutely hilarious. And beyond that, let's go back here for a second. He came in a MAGA hat. Now, once again, whether or not, I don't care about people's politics, whatever. He's doing it as a stunt. He doesn't believe in any politics, by the way.
He's doing it, I bet, because he is assuming Donald Trump will save him. Is probably his assumption. Which, whether you like or not, he has bigger problems to deal with than some idiot that... Also, if he did help, he's not going to help him over the risk of also international problems. He also has other problems other than some aid insulting, causing that basically cause his own problems in South Korea. So, and I don't think he is one either.
He uses, whatever politics and try to benefit him. He came in a MAGA hat. He was told 3 times to take the hat off. And by the way, before we came, I actually told Atozi behind the scenes, I'm like, bro, I know you're a hat dude, but you can't wear your hat in the court. And he's like, oh, I got it. We're cool. So he took off his beanie. And by the way, Atozi is like a totally different guy without his hat. I wouldn't recognize him. Totally different guy. Cool guy though. I love it. So, our crew has the hats off. No, and I don't wear a hat, but some other guys do. And he comes in, he's wearing the MAGA hat. The bailiff tells him to take it off. He proceeds to cross the barrier because there's a barrier where the audience is and the lawyers are. And he's trying to look back.
For reference, this might be Oh, here's a good one. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Barrier right here. This is the barrier. And this, I mean, although this is reference to the president's impeachment, but it's same concept of the thing. So
back at me, and he puts back the hat back on, and I swear to God, the bailiff almost took it off his head, almost slapped it off his head. It was bad. He then proceeded, in the midst of this, to try to sit where the interpreter sits, and they kept explaining to him, "No, you need to sit over there." He also kept fumbling with this water bottle, and they're like, "Don't do that." And his hands were in his pockets, which in Korea is super rude. So he kept his hands in his pockets while he was speaking. And when he went up to go forward, there's kind of the bar, where there's a little, wooden structure that kind of blocks the audience.
Which I just showed.
From the lawyers and everybody else. We call it the bar, right? Because it blocks you. It's like a little gate. Hank was trying to go with him. You could tell there was a serious, near romantic look in his eye of I just can't quit you, Johnny. And he wanted to go forward. But the thing is, Hank can barely speak regular Korean, much less English. His mastery of both languages is questionable. You have to qualify as a court interpreter. You have to have a high level of fluency. They test you, and you also have to make certain oaths that you're competent, that you've experienced, and that whatever you say, if you say it wrong, you can be held liable. Right? So Hank wanted to be his guy, but he couldn't. And Johnny was given this longing look. They had this weird exchange where they looked at each other. It was very, very weird. But overall, his body language and trying to wear that hat multiple times was extraordinarily rude. And that's how he started off. All right. So I got that.
So we're already off to a bad start with him.
Okay. Ramsey came in the door. And the first thing he does so he doesn't see me right away because I'm in the back corner. And I wasn't facing him. I was facing forward. And so Hank, walks in behind Johnny. And I think he's used to that. And he's looking at the other people. They're all looking around. And Hank is himself. But Ramsey looks at me and he does this face. He looks directly at me and does that. And he really thinks he's getting off that day. I think he really thinks he's getting off that day. He's super giddy. He's excited. He's oh, everyone's here for me. I'm the center of attention. Yeah. He's like a child, literally a child. So he goes up. He's sitting next to his lawyer. Everybody's looking at him. The bailiff, his defense lawyer, the judge is looking at him, the stenographers, the media. He looks at me and sticks his tongue out. Looks directly at me and sticks his tongue out.
8 Sleep's brand new Pod 4 is truly
interesting
of the box.
Crazy. And everybody sees it. The judge saw it. Right? And it's all right, Ramsey. And I was laughing. I was laughing my ass off because I'm I'm not on trial here, buddy. You are. Right? I can laugh. I can do what I want. Now I can't be loud or disrespectful, but I can smile. I can do whatever I want in the galley, as long as it's not loud or disrespectful. But he, on the other hand, he's the one on trial here. He's the one who's got a potential criminal sentence for a lot of years. So here's what happened. He starts thinking he's going to walk out of here, and as soon as the judge starts asking him questions, he realizes, oh, this is real. And he goes 100% shock Pikachu face. It was night and day. You could see he was laughing, thinking he was going to get out of things. Shock Pikachu face. He was just hit with a ton of bricks. And there was a point at which, when they were going over the charges, which we'll go over in a second, we're going to really explain the charges. I'm going to really explain this carefully for you guys. When he realized his own lawyer didn't know about one of the charges that's against him in the Eastern Court. The new one that I covered, that only I covered, that he said I was making up or whatever, they didn't know about it at all. He didn't know about it. He had no information. He had nothing printed out. He's found out, baby. He found out. So that's why the next trial is on April 9th. By the way, the next date for the trial is April 9th. I told you guys this was going to be spaced out over months. And on that day, all he will do is choose whether to plead not guilty or guilty to the next obstruction charge. We do not know what that obstruction charge is for. Now, I'm going to explain to you what the other charges are for, because it's very, very important that you guys know accurate information about the charges. Okay? But before we get to that, let's talk a little bit more about his shocked Pikachu face here real quick. Because it wasn't just limited to talking about the charges. He didn't know his address. He also lied to the judge. He said he was
Ooh, I don't know how that works in Korean, but I'm pretty sure lying in a court of law, not a good idea.
a student. So they ask, what is your job? He said he's a student. Okay? He said he's a student. And now Johnny Somali is being very flippant. Number one, where is he studying? Show me anywhere he's studying. Nowhere. But he's being very flippant about working. And I'm going to show you guys what he said about working in Korea and how he thinks he doesn't care and it doesn't matter and he's going to work no matter what they say. Watch this. Watch this clip of him. This is from his drunken, once again, his such a good idea, 3 a.m. drunken stream. Look at this unhinged man. This man is mentally broken. This is a man that we have crushed his soul.
Make bread. If these niggas lock me in the country, I'm gonna make bread. I don't give a. Send that shit to the prosecutor.
We will, Johnny. We will.
Careful what you wish for, or ask, or tell us to, I guess.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry, little buddy. Don't you worry, little buddy. We got you.
Live stream donators, they gonna get in rich and oiled because they feel bad that I've been locked here. Snitching, Johnny
Well, you kind of did it to yourself, to be honest.
Somali is making money. Yeah, don't lock me in the fucking country, Korean corrupt government.
I wonder how the judge and prosecutor are going to feel about being called corrupt.
I would not advise calling the country you're stuck in corrupt. Just not a good idea.
The government don't want me to work. I'm not working. I'm streaming. That's two different things.
I mean, if you're getting paid, it is working, although it's the easiest job in the world.
No, it's not.
I could be in Home Depot or selling my bouillon.
Well, he is doing the latter. I mean, he's in Hank's place, so Hank has stated his price. So we know he's doing the latter.
She's doing one of them. That is true.
That's working. Shut the nigga, I don't give a.
See, so this is yes, that's Johnny Somali. And his quote about, he's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. All right. Let me continue here with the charges. So we're going to explain this very carefully. Okay? And I want you guys to really pay attention to this. There's going to be a test at the end. Okay?
Oh.
Okay. So in this court, this is the West Court. We're in the West Court. And in case you guys forgot, there's a difference between where he committed these crimes and other crimes. So Hongdae is where these crimes, the red dot is where these crimes went down. This is the criminal maps sheet, PowerPoint. I've played this one before, the red dot and the green dot, okay? Red dot is Hongdae. That's where this courthouse is near, and that's where most of these crimes were committed. Jamshil, there were other crimes committed, and that's also where Hank lives, and he has been staying with Hank for the majority of this. And many of the crimes went down in Jamshil, okay? That's the Eastern District, so they have different courts. So we are in the West District, which you see number 8, we're in number 8. The East, where Hank lives, is number 4, which is Songpa-gu. It's in a neighborhood called Jamshil, right? It's east of Gangnam, where I am. I'm in Gangnam, right there in Songpa. right? My apartment's nicer though. I guarantee. Yeah, Coex is in Gangnam. It's near Bunggungsa, which is one of my favorite temples. Coex is in
Wait. Oh. The StarCraft 2 championship.
Gangnam. It's near Bunggungsa, which is one of my favorite temples. Middle of the city. It's beautiful. So here's the thing. I told you guys that there can be multiple cases going on in different districts. So what has been confirmed is there is a fifth charge that nobody knew about till stupid Ramsey decided to get drunk and talk shit, specifically talking shit about me, saying, I don't know anything, whatever. He then proceeded to show he flashed a certain thing across the screen. And that was this document. When he was drunk last night, he flashed this document across the screen. Now, I know not everybody is fluent in Korean, so I'm going to tell you what it says. Hold on. This sharing may be a little buggy, so let me see if this works fine. Okay, let's see. Did that work out? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna open and close this. Okay, let's stop sharing. And then cancel that. Okay, cool. Let's do it this way. Here we go. Here it is. So last night he was showing his chat. He's like, I have the paperwork. And he flashed this. Now, my Korean brothers and sisters, you can read this. But what this is this is something from the Eastern District. I'm going to tell you what this is. Sorry, I know some of you be squinting. This is a sex crime, which is the deep fake. This is the deep fake crime in Jamshil. And
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's not good.
what this means is it's been referred from the police to the prosecutor. And he literally said, I don't understand this racial slur speak. And the racial slur he used began with a G. Well, guess what? We know people that speak the language of Korean. We know many people that speak the language of Korean. And what we found out is that this has been referred by the police to the prosecution. So what that means is, if you're playing along at home, because I know some of you are, we've got the chart. Remember this chart, guys? I keep bringing this up. I brought this up a lot, but I bring this one up because it's very important. I want you guys to memorize this. This is going to be on the test. This is very important. When things are at stage 1 or 2, they may just die. When you submit something to the police, they may ignore it. And then the police may investigate it and they may drop it. But in Korea, if you go from stage 2 to stage 3, if the police send it to the prosecutor, if you go from 2 to 3, on step 3, you have a 90% plus conviction rate, probably more like 98% conviction rate, which means they will charge you. We're at stage 3 now.
And that's very fast stage 3. So, yeah, Korean has a 98%, 98, 95% conviction rate. So the chances of him getting out is not very high. Clearly, he didn't get out of this charge. But it was even less already.
At stage 3. He just confirmed, he literally told himself that in the Eastern District, there is a 5th charge, which has not been, the prosecutors haven't officially announced it yet, but it's coming. Which means, remember the theory I said, guys? That they're going to hit him with these little obstruction ones and they're going to trick him into pleading guilty. And then he's going to be screwed because he's a convicted criminal. And then they're going to hit him with deepfakes, which has serious jail time. That just happened. He confirmed it. And he did it because he's a drunk idiot. And the fact that
And he's what we call cornered into a wall. And when you're into a corner into a wall, you become scared and do something dangerous. And he did something dangerous, which is called, he basically exposed himself for getting convicted. So he unironically just shot himself in the foot. I mean, it was already shot, but he did it worse already. He just made it worse for himself.
He decided to do a broken, mind break, drunken stream the night of his charges, and he wanted to be this wild, crazy character. The court can't touch me, this and that. It actually backfired in his face. It is hilarious. It is absolutely
Clearly, the court can't touch you.
hilarious. And he doesn't even realize what these mean, what these charges are. He's just being told by Hank, oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. When you have a sexual crime,
I would worry about it.
a deep fake, a sexual deep fake, that is serious time.
Which is serious in Korea. And I'm pretty last time I checked, unless I'm wrong, illegal. For
those people playing along at home, this was from earlier, but I now fixed the numbers here. Deep fakes are, he's now at stage 3. There's one of them at stage 3. Now, mind you, there's others. This is one for a female. So it's likely Bong Bong. This is likely Bong Bong's deep fake. Okay. This can be up to 5 years and 50 million won if it's not sexual, but if it's longer, if it's includes harassment, digital sexual harassment. So there's serious time on this. And there can even be more depending on if he goes distributing it or not, whatever. But even just possessing it is enough. So you're tacking on more jail time. And mind you, this is in a case that may take forever. Let's go back to the charges. I want to explain these real quick. Okay. Here's what happened in court. He knew about number 1. He knew about number 2 and number 3. He had no fucking clue about number 4. Literally, the face on his attorney, when they started talking about this new obstruction charge, the one I just brought up 2 days ago, this is how his lawyer looked. And him. This was literally his defense lawyer's face when they talked about the last charge. When they talked about, oh yeah, there's another obstruction charge. He's like, what?
Didn't know about the last one, did you now?
What new charge? They had no clue. It was so great. It was lovely. Lovely. And I think the thing is they really don't understand what's coming at them, and they don't understand that more charges can come even now. Okay, so charge number 1, obstruction of business. So we talked about what that is for. That's for the convenience store. So charge number...
That's the 7-Eleven throwing stuff.
Number 1 is for the convenience store. When he was yelling at the worker and, drinking the soju when he throws the ramen, that's number 1. Can you guys guess what charge number 2, the Minor Crimes Act, is for? Is from going around with the dead fish and harassing people. And the prosecutor was very specific. The prosecutor said specifically that he was going around and harassing people with a dead fish for no reason, and it made them uncomfortable. So those things together, harassing someone with the fish, multiple people harassing them, no reason, and they felt uncomfortable. Together, he's done. Okay, let's talk about charge number 3. Charge number 3 was the bus in the subway. And this is hilarious, guys. I was talking to my friends. We may have had the first time with charge number 3, the Minor Crimes Act that was added in February. We may have had the first instance anywhere where a Korean court used the word twerking. I'm not kidding. The word twerking was used to describe this crime. I mean, literally the prosecutor said he was dancing and twerking. It was actually hilarious.
The fact that that was said in a legitimately, not just Korean court, just a court in general, is wild.
It was actually really hilarious. Twitter, the Korean pronunciation is cute. I like it. So that was number 3. And they had no idea about number 4. So number 4, they had no idea about. The only people who have really mentioned it is me, and we don't know what it's for. So we don't know for charge number 4 what business they're talking about being obstructed. We have no clue. He has 2 obstruction of business claims, and they're stack. So what that means is that each count can give him 5 years in prison. He has 2. So he has a maximum just from this of 10 years. And then the deepfakes could be 5, 7, even 10 themselves just for one count. So think about that. Even let's be conservative. Let's say deepfakes is 5. So now he's got up to a maximum of 15. And so even if he gets no time on one, and he gets 1 year on the other, and 2 years on the last, that's 3 years, guys. In addition to how long they take. Because the time doesn't start till his very last case is closed.
Which could take another a year or 2.
Very last case is closed. Think about that. That's going to be a long time. Because his second case, the Eastern District case, hasn't even started, guys.
Attention shoppers.
Yeah, so right now, he's looking at 5. Okay, let's watch this one, which is kind of funny. He runs from a tiny Korean girl, which...
AI capabilities.
Johnny Somali is talking tough after his first day in court in Seoul, South Korea. But today, we're going to see the reality of Johnny Somali is just an empty little shell. Of course, I am Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a Legal Mind, so we teach you to be your own judge. As you know, we have been closely following this case, and we've been bringing you the facts, both in long-form streams and in shorter videos, as to the specific details of what's going on with Johnny Somali, or known by his legal name, Ramzi Khalid Ismail, in his trial here in Seoul, South Korea. This is his first trial in the Western District of Seoul. He's anticipated to have a number of charges also in perhaps different districts, but this is actual commentary that he has issued now that he has started streaming after his first trial. So let's give it a listen.
He doesn't know Hank's address and apartment number where he's
that as well.
Stupid.
Yeah, he kept answering that he didn't know. Yeah, no, it's bad. It looks really bad for him.
Then he said, I don't know because I don't speak Korean. And then the judge said, you can speak English. Because the judge,
The nigga told me, what's the address, nigga? I'm like, nigga, I don't know how to tell you, nigga. How do I say ching chong, ching ching ching? How can I say that to you? I don't speak your language.
So starting off strong with a clearly
So you're starting to mimic Chinese, first off. And just maybe learn a little Korean before you go to the trial so you can know how to speak it in freaking Korean.
Racist diatribe about the judge, and also with a completely inaccurate description of what happened. He has a court-appointed, a government interpreter, translating everything in perfect...
Yeah, so he doesn't really have an excuse to why he can't say it in English, and the interpreter interprets it in Korean.
English to him. So any comment that he would not be able to understand is absolutely ridiculous, because everything is being said to him line by line in English every single step of the way. And the real problem for Ramzi in this case is that this is on in front of the world. He not only has us YouTubers here, people like myself, Atozi, others that were in the audience, including Korean YouTubers, but he also has the Korean media. And we have a clip from the Korean media showing exactly how Ramzi's story is so different than reality of this tough guy act. Watch this.
They're claiming that like I came in and I was fucking blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge and motherfuckers was like sitting in the wrong place and niggas was nervous. This shit was a breeze. Fuck you.
Do you admit the charges? Is there anything you want to say? Do you admit the charges? Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
So as you can see, when
he ran from he ran from you, girl. I mean, he doesn't like girls, clearly. Joking. Yeah, he ran from a small Korean girl, which it's a small Korean girl. She's cute. Marry me, please. Just okay.
when Ramsey says something, it's likely he's going to do the opposite. All of this.
Yeah, he talked tough. Then he ran from a little Korean girl, which I mean, it's probably threatened because it's native. Well, as
Fake machismo, all this tough guy act, it's really absolute dust in the wind. So when Ramsey says something like this, I absolutely believe the opposite.
Lying and making up all this bullshit about me. I know for a fact I'm not gonna go to jail. Not one day in jail, but
right now it seems quite the opposite. Now let's go to the next one.
Does a rising tide really lift all boats? Well, rising tides can do a lot of things.
Okay, let's watch this video. So we need to get to this video. So I do have a video up on my channel. You can watch it. It's 3 minutes, but we're going to watch a condensed version. So Johnny on stream was talking very tough. He was talking like he didn't care at all about his trial. He was saying it was no big deal. It was nothing. You guys ain't got nothing on me. And this is a very long stream. Now, we won't be watching all of Johnny's streams. I was watching a lot of clips from the stream. All of his stuff is being logged by everybody. This was recorded earlier today, on the Party platform, P-A-R-T-I. It's a particular streaming platform that uses crypto, and it has very loose moderation rules.
So it's barely any, I'm guessing.
Similar to Kick, but even looser than Kick. It's a newer platform. I believe it's based out of America. So he can get away with relative murder on Party, so to speak, metaphorically, right? Metaphorically. So he was there streaming today, and this is something he had to say. And this is a juxtaposition. This is a juxtaposition of what he says with some exclusive footage, which I have not seen any Westerners find. I think it's from Korean media, on the reality of what happened.
they're claiming that like I came in and I was blindsided by the fact that I had a new charge. And
he was, by the way, he was completely blindsided by the fact he had a new charge. He had no idea. He looked like a deer in the headlights.
Motherfuckers was like sitting in the wrong place and was nervous. This shit was a breeze. Fuck you.
Do you admit the charges? Is there anything you want to say? Do you admit the charges? Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
Yeah, why would you say I love North Korea? I don't know.
We're going to rewind that. That actually may be the biggest thing that screws him over.
Lying and making up all this bullshit about me. I know for a fact I'm not going to go to jail. Not one day in jail.
Clearly you don't.
But
there he is, saying he's not going to spend one day in jail. Let's go back to this footage. I want to show you guys something on this. So this is the day of the trial. So
okay, did you notice what he said? I love what he said afterwards.
Remember, Johnny said he was walking in here not caring. He said he didn't care. He was relaxed. He was smiling. He was happy. He was laughing, right? You see him there, and that's Hank. People ask, who's Hank? Hank is this guy. Hank is the guy who looks like his like obese bodyguard over there.
Right there.
So, he literally ran away from these people, immediately flicked them off, ran away from them, stuck his tongue at them, and even more, he dug himself in with what he said.
Do you admit the charges?
So curses her out, calls her the B word.
He's calling a Korean woman, a little Korean woman, that. Good.
Anything you want to say?
Good try.
Do you admit the charges?
So F Korea, right?
Good idea.
Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
So saying that he loves North Korea instead of apologizing.
That is a choice to choose. Of all the choices I've seen, that is a choice. Not a good choice, but it's a choice.
Okay. But like, let's go back. Like, let's enhance this. It's like, look at him running from the girl, right? And by the way, look at how small he is. Okay.
He's tiny. They're almost the same size.
She's a small girl. I actually remember this girl. She's a small girl. And he's like shorter, I think, by at least a couple inches than her. Right? He literally ran away from this girl. He could have taken the second to actually give a quick statement and then go like an adult. But instead, he's gonna attack him like that. That was his move. That was his move. And yes, I am confirming that he's a man. And I'm not, look, people are saying this is me because I'm like 6'6" and I'm a giant. No. Like, there were regular sized people in the courtroom and he was diminutive compared to them. Very small boy. So this one's really bad. So I just want to warn you, there are like racial slurs in this one. And this is really racist. This is like racist, extremely racist. So, you know, fair warning here. And once again, it's Johnny being racist, not me. But this will be, the judge is going to see this. Let's just put it this way. So this was a comment. This was Johnny this morning. And he was responding to Atozi's live. So Atozi did like a 6-minute live. Of course, this good looking is there in the back, right? Right in the back. But watch what he says about the judge. Watch this. This is unbelievable that someone during their trial would say this.
He doesn't know Hank's address and apartment number where he's.
That is well.
Stupid.
Yeah, he kept answering that he didn't know. Yeah, no, it's bad. It looks really bad for him.
Then he said, I don't know because I don't speak Korean. And then the judge said, you can speak English. Because the judge.
The told me, what's the address? I'm like, I don't know how to tell you. How do I say ching chong ching ching ching? How can I say that to you? I don't speak your language.
So, there was that.
Making, that's also, you're also imitating Chinese, and imitating just Asian languages are like, oh, it's just a bunch of fast words.
Yeah.
Would not advise doing this in court, especially when you're still on trial.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
So we did catch the fact that he's lied during his trial. Now, I have posted the updated hearing transcript on my locals. I put it in the community tab of YouTube. So if you just want to go over to the community tab, you can find it. It's posted up there. So we actually corrected this part here. So it's actually funny. You know why he said that? Because the judge actually called him out for not knowing English. I'm not kidding. So let me read this again. This is the actual transcript. The judge says, don't you know the building number or the apartment and the apartment number? Defendant says, defendant is him. He's a defendant, which is pigoin. Pigoin in Korea is, pigo or pigoin is defendant in Korea. Not off the top of my head, because I don't speak Korean. Judge, their numbers. You can say them in English. You don't remember? Bruh.
You don't remember the numbers. That's insane.
Called out directly by the judge. And who doesn't know English? Ramsey, right? It's all projection. See, this is why you got to understand. A lot of people will say, well, why don't you get mad if these people say bad? It's all projection. They're just projecting their own insecurities on other people. He's projecting his own inability to speak proper English language because he does not speak proper English language. He's projecting that onto other people. So let's put this out here. So Johnny is talking about Bong Bong IRL and what he quote unquote did with her.
And I'll tell y'all this, bro. Guess who's fucking getting charged too? Like I can.
So he's talking about deepfakes. So he's confirming that he is indeed going to be charged with deepfakes. He is going to be seriously charged. So he's confirming it here. But he's trying to say that Bong Bong, the female streamer, right? Let me see if I can pull her up. Bong Bong IRL. Let's see if I pull up her. Maybe you'll get her. Yeah. This is Bong Bong IRL. I can show this. I gotta really check people's content because sometimes Instagram content is not friendly for YouTube. But here's Bong Bong IRL. And she is a person who was deepfaked. She was deepfaked as part of the issue with a lot of the deepfakes that Johnny either created or disseminated. And she filed a charge against him for deepfakes. And they have, it is confirmed that has been forwarded to the prosecutors, which means it's going to court, which means he will face charges for that. However, he is trying to say, I have charged her. Johnny doesn't get to charge anything.
I mean, even if he does, she's the victim. It wouldn't work anyway.
Johnny is using the word charge completely incorrect. What you do is you submit something. You give it to the police. The police can look at it and decide to wipe their butt with it and throw it in the trash. The police are the ones who decide whether to give it to the prosecutors, to give it to the court, or to throw it away. All Johnny did was he filed a police report. And the police could say, we're not doing this because she is the one that's harmed in this. Right? It's really...
She was the victim.
Is she going to be the one who is the one who's harmed here? Right? So trying to say, he's going to take everybody else down or he's charging, it's just ridiculous. I'll let the clip finish, but that's not how it works. Johnny does a fundamental misunderstanding, as we're seeing time and time again. He has a fundamental misunderstanding of the Korean justice system.
Drop really knowledge on you, bro. That stupid Bong Bong.
Drop knowledge on the Korean justice system? My guy, she's Korean. I think she knows it more than you.
She showed that image as well on her stream, right? So guess who went to the police
yeah, because you were the one that shared it first.
station? Put charges on Bong Bong ass. Bong Bong getting charged too. Like, I'm not playing with these. I went to the court. I'll put charges on Bong Bong ass.
He doesn't go to the court, right? You go to the police or the prosecutor and then you submit a report. And you don't put charges on them. That's not how it works. The police can literally throw it away. Like, for example, Hank, his buddy, possible lover, buddy, roommate, he sues everybody. The expression about Hank, and this is actually something that a lot of Koreans are saying about Hank, the expression the Koreans say about Hank in Korean is, if a fly lands on Hank's arm, he sues it for special assault. Like in Korean, it's extra funny, but like they try to sue everybody. And remember, a lot of these things in the U.S. are civil, but in Korea they're criminal. So they're trying to sue people for everything, but that's not how it works. For criminal stuff, the government decides what to pursue. So he can't, quote unquote, put charges on anything. He can just file a report, and they can say, we don't care, especially with who he is and how well he's known, or rather, how well he's despised.
Uber Eats is delivering more
and how infamous he is. All right, let's go to this one.
So there was an article that was put,
which the thumbnail already is pretty bad, considering you can kind of imagine what he's gonna say.
Out in the Korean news, and it absolutely is devastating. Now, this is the English translation. So the original's here in Korean. I did actually go through with this. I had my good friend, the Dr. Alaric. You guys are not familiar. The guy, he interviewed. You've seen him in the Atozi interview as well. He was the one that, Asma Gold makes fun of how he holds, or was it somebody makes fun of how he holds the cup? I've seen people talking about, the guy how he holds the cup. I forget who it was who said that. But anyways, the Dr. Alaric, he also, looked at the translation here. So I'm going to give you guys, make sure it's accurate, because this is obviously some, machine translation. But it tends to do a pretty good job. The problem is, so this is really bad. Okay?
Also, before, yes, bad. Korea was never really a colony, ever. The last, if you want to consider during the Korean War they split into two, and then after Japan, but that was 80 years ago.
This article that is, once again, let me just make it clear here, it is originally a Korean article. This is the original language, right? We're translating this into English. So this is extremely bad for
This is horrendously bad.
Johnny Somali. Remember, in the interview with Channel A, he went out and said that Korea is a colony of the United States, right? That was probably the dumbest thing that he could ever say. Because, once again, you're triggering a lot of things here. Right, you're literally triggering both a nationalism and a nationalist sentiment, right? So you're going to that appeal. And then beyond that, you're showing a lack of remorse.
Also your lack of history knowledge as well.
So he's not showing that he's sorry. And at this point, it's really too late for him to come back and do that, because it's already clear that he's not sorry, right? That he's not sorry pretty much at all. So in case you guys didn't see it, I'll play the video again because I want you guys to see it. Now, of course, I have this. You can go on my channel. It's part of my videos, Somali Talks Tough, but runs from Tiny Korean Girl. You can see exactly what he says here. And this, because it hit the Korean news in a double sort of way, it's absolutely going to kill him. Let's play this.
Do you admit the charges? Is there anything you want to say? Do you admit the charges? Don't you want to apologize?
I love North.
So saying I love North Korea. Also, the word
not a smart idea.
He said there's one word they beeped. Apparently, it was "suck my expletive." So I'm not going to say it. I'm actually trying to curse less. So trying to be a good boy in the algorithm, because usually I'm a bad boy in the algorithm. But that's also what he said that they beeped out. So because that reporter ended up talking about what he said a little bit more in another somewhere separately. So that interaction led to this article. So if he didn't do that, he wouldn't get this guy on him. Now he's got Professor So Kyun-dok, who says, I haven't come to my senses yet. So this really means he is super mad. We need to set a good example with strong punishment, which means we need to send him to jail for a long time. That is not what I am saying. That's what a professor is saying that has strong connections in Korea.
I mean, I'd also agree. So keep him there for as long as you want. Korea, I think most people around the world would agree. Just keep them there. Don't send them. Keep them there for a long time. Maybe like 5-10 years.
As American YouTuber Johnny Somali, they use YouTuber broadly. They don't understand. Let me just be very clear here. A lot of people in Korea do not understand. So the older generation. Let me put it this way, like especially the older generation, they don't differentiate between like YouTube and Twitch and Kick. So they use that like they're using YouTuber like as a general streamer. So even if you're like a Twitch streamer, they might call you a YouTuber, and that's how they understand it, right? So interpret YouTuber as content creator. Just read it the same way, okay? It's not like, and it's not, honestly, I can't blame them for not following every new platform. I mean, like, who the hell even knows what Party is until Johnny Somali was on it? I didn't know what that was. I didn't even know that was a platform.
I didn't know what that was until like I watched the video.
Right. Frankly, I didn't even follow Kick very closely at all until I started following these nuisance streamers, and I was wondering what platform they were on, and it turned out to be Kick, mostly, for the most part. All right, let's continue with this article, and this is kryptonite. So, as American YouTuber Johnny Somali, who has engaged in bizarre behavior such as kissing the Statue of Peace, continues to be late to court and with frowning remarks. What that means is he makes he says bad things. Okay, so he's saying nasty things. Professor So Kyung-dok of Sungshin Women's University has urged that the professor is a guy. We must set an example with strong punishment. This means like we need the max sentence on this guy. So, a lot of people try to make it out to seem like I'm the only guy who's pushing for this, and like it's just me and maybe like Atozi or a couple other people in the West. It's not. You've got people inside Korea that also want him to be put away for a long time. This isn't just a few people on the internet. This is millions of people that are hoping he gets the maximum punishment. Professor So made the demand on his social media today, the 10th, saying after the first trial, he still hasn't come to his senses, such as spouting the outrageous remark, Korea is a colony of the United States, to the press. It actually sometimes gets translated, because it's Asia, they sometimes translate colony as vassal state. If you guys understand what a vassal state is, it's sort of like a colony. It was originally the Chinese way of having a colony. They didn't come in and they didn't do it the British style. They would just make you kind of pay tribute, so you're like a vassal. You pay tribute to your bigger power. And they send the treasure fleet out, and the treasure fleet gets all the gifts from the vassals and brings it back. So it's a different system, but it essentially means colony, right? Yeah, it's a tributary. Exactly. So the word can sometimes be similar, and they use them kind of interchangeably. So Professor So criticized Somali's attitude, saying Somali tried to enter the courtroom wearing a red hat with the phrase "Make America Great Again, MAGA," which is a slogan of U.S. President Trump's presidential campaign, but was stopped due to regulations, meaning you can't wear a hat. So he was told twice to take it off. Report in particular, he continued to display inappropriate behavior such as smiling and making tongue-in-cheek pose. So the tongue-in-cheek, that actually means sticking his tongue out. So that's what he did to me and Atozi twice. And he did it right directly. Frankly, he was looking at me like in the eyes. Like of all the people in the courtroom, I triggered him the most. It's unambiguous. So he was doing that. Now, I actually did email another article that said this. It said towards an acquaintance sitting in the courtroom. So I said, I messaged this article and I said, hey, just real quick, I'm not an acquaintance, I'm an opponent. But the way that translates, it's just like, it doesn't really mean like we're bros. It means like someone he saw that he recognized. Right. So that word acquaintance there, that's not a great translation. He continued, I haven't come to my senses yet, meaning he's still mad. This time, we need to set a good example by giving strong punishment, not a slap on the wrist. And he raised his voice. So this is the exact same sentiment we have. So people in Korea are having the exact same sentiment that we're having here, which is a slap on the wrist is not appropriate. What Somali wants is a slap on the wrist, right?
What Somali wants and what Somali gets are going to be two different things.
But that's you know, that's neither here nor there. Let's see. He added, it's because they not only kissed the statue, but insulted the history of the Republic of Korea by showing the rising sun flag and shouting, "It's not Dokdo, it's Takashima," which is the Japanese name for Dokdo, which is a island which is historically been Korean. It is claimed by Korea. Korea controls it now, right? Japan has some like tenuous claim on it. It's not a very strong claim, but obviously Johnny wants to play on those divisive geopolitical things. He does things to be divisive. I've said it before. The MAGA hat is not because he's MAGA. He's not. He just wants to be divisive and make people angry.
Yeah, the rising sun, especially to Korea, is like basically the swastika to Koreans. Considering what Japan did to Koreans during World War II, it's understandable they'd be mad.
Professor So concluded his writing by emphasizing,
and Johnny did it knowing that would make Koreans mad, because what that flag means to Koreans, especially history of Korea, is horrific to what Japan did. And it's not just to Koreans, it's to most of Asia during World War II.
I just hope that a proper final ruling is made on the incident so that something like this never happens again in Korea. Let me read that one more time. I hope a proper final ruling is made so that something like this never happens in Korea. That is exactly what we want to see.
Yes, that right there. Exactly.
This professor is saying exactly what we're saying, exactly what we're all saying. We're completely in sync here. This needs to be a preventative medicine for all other nuisance streamers. Because as we're going to show you today, I called this 3 weeks ago when I saw this guy DBR. I said, he's queuing himself up to be the next Somali. And we're going to see in a video later, he wants to be the next Somali. He's literally calls himself the next Somali. And this guy, if he's allowed off, is going to be an example for an entire generation of streamers. It's going to be a serious problem. So that's why it needs to go one way and not the other. And it's not just because of that. It's because there's a spree of crimes, right? It's not just one crime. And in fact, a lot of people have asked, why isn't he charged for the Comfort Woman statue? Well, that typically is just a fine, right? Because typically crimes against property in general, if you're looking at world law, not just Korea, I'm talking about the world comparatively, typically crimes against people are treated more seriously and punished more seriously than crimes against property. Particularly if it's just a crime against property where no person was injured. The penalty tends to be less under the law. Now, they're going to change that law, it appears, regarding this. However, that's not what he's charged with. He's charged with multiple counts of being causing serious problems in public against people, disturbing people, annoying people, harassing people, obstructing businesses, creating a scene. He shut down a concert. He shut down a ride at Lotte-land. He threatened to literally, and I can't say the word, he threatened to have a gang sexual assault of a particular, of someone. It was really ridiculous. So, he's caused all these problems. And he's threatened a lot of people with, indirect or direct harm. And he's harmed businesses and been extraordinarily disruptive, rude, and he's been disgusting and sexual around children. The last part says, obstruction of business. The trial of Johnny Somali was brought to court and scheduled for 11:10 on the 7th, but due to his lateness, it began an hour later at 11:10. It was supposed to start at 10:10. Somali is accused of interfering with business by playing music loudly and spilling cup ramen on a table in a convenience store in Mapo last year. Also, what they don't include is the fish, as well as disrupting the bus and subway with twerking, and dancing and all sorts of other harassing behavior.
Yeah, so. And then we have two more The small one and then the big.
I have 12 emails, 30 messages, and a proposal due by 10. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
All right, so here's the stream. This was just yesterday. So this just happened. This is fresh off the press. This is brand new. So Johnny is in Korea, obviously, and DBR, he fled Japan after the snowball incident, and he is now in Thailand, in the Kingdom of Thailand. I believe he's in Bangkok, but we'll see. I actually don't know exactly where he is. We'll find him. We'll find him. So listen to what him and Johnny talk about. And by the way, guys, this is why I am so passionate about this. I'm a person who spends a lot of time in Thailand, Japan, and Korea. These places tend to be where a lot of nuisance streamers want to target for some reason, for whatever reason, because they think they're easier.
I guess because they think they're a bit more polite countries, and they think they're an easy target to be. Bunch of jerks on it. They're like, oh, they won't touch me. These are the nice countries. Like, they, no, they will. If you do something, they will do something back, and they're seeing that.
Or whatever else, but they're about to find out if they mess around. I'm just saying, especially in Thailand too. A lot of the content creators. I mean, Ice Poseidon got a criminal charge. He's a convicted criminal in the Kingdom of Thailand. There's a lot of others that had to run away or leave. And Gino almost got his ass kicked on Khao San Road for kicking a chair. So, yeah, I mean, you don't mess around. You don't mess around. Let's watch this exchange between DBR and his mentor here, Johnny Somali.
Bro,
That's how it went.
how's Thailand? You streaming in Thailand so far?
Yeah, I'm just chilling, right? I've been chilling, but I'm gonna be streaming this week.
IRL?
Yeah.
Why don't you come to?
So he's going to do IRL streaming in Thailand. So now you're going to have people watching out for DBR in Thailand. And I know there's a lot of you viewers who are in Thailand. And if you see DBR out streaming, I mean, keep an eye on this kid, right? Now, I'm not saying do anything, right? Once again, if he wants to behave himself and, he wants to film himself eating somtam and pad kapow, that's fine, right? But if he's out acting like an idiot or he's out getting drunk and getting violent, he's going to end up in a Thai prison real quick or getting some Muay Thai in a face-to-face lesson in Muay Thai. I'm just saying.
Come to Korea. Why did you come here?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's better for you to come to Korea. It's better for you to come here.
I don't know. I could come to Korea, but
It's
the problem
more
is
content.
yeah, I don't know, because I'm Somali,
So he says it. So he says exactly what I said and exactly what the image. He knows he is Somali 2.0, right? So this guy is a disciple here, right? And he's admitting, he's like, yeah, I'm Somali 2.0. I come up there, I'm gonna have problems, which is very fair. Very fair. He's scared, and he should be scared.
Hey, I mean, at least he's self-aware enough to be like, I don't think I should go because if I'm Somali 2.0, they're gonna have problems with me as well. I don't want to have that. Yada yada.
He absolutely should be scared to get detained here, to get locked down, just like Johnny. If he comes out and comes here and starts and tries to do even part of what he's doing, right? And look at what Johnny is doing. Johnny is encouraging to come here for quote unquote content, and we know what Johnny finds content. Johnny's content is criminal content.
What's the problem? Oh, I'm not gonna. They might.
His name's Somali.
They really might miss.
I'm a big cook in Korea. I'm a big cook.
You might go downtown. Might just punch you out of nowhere.
It's not going to be out of nowhere. See, that's the misnomer that like Somali or anybody got punched, quote unquote, out of nowhere. It wasn't out of nowhere. It was after they committed multiple crimes. They, insulted the people of Korea. They harassed people. They harassed children. They harassed elderly women.
It was not out of nowhere. It was completely deserved.
Just random people out there that were minding their own business, right? They've been aggressive. They've been sexual. They've made sexual comments. They've threatened to assault women. I mean, insane stuff they'd done before anybody punched Johnny Somali in the face. Johnny Somali wasn't punched in the face randomly. That was after a long streak of provocation, essentially provocation. So just to be very clear about that.
You don't even know, dude.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I might just be chilling, and I got my camera out, and they're like, "Oh, Somali."
Yeah, it's possible, bro. I honestly, I think they gave you too much heat for the snowball shit. Like, nigga, that you didn't really assault nobody. You threw.
Okay. That's literally the definition of assault.
Taken from Johnny Somali, I think it is assault. It's like I don't think it's like you are literally on trial for things, if not worse.
Right. Unauthorized touching. Like that's it. Sorry. Like, you know, it's like
the guy literally bled.
It's like definitional assault. That's assault.
Experience advanced tech.
It is straight up assault. Okay.
We got Asmund. Okay. Let me show this one. So we're going to review the review. We're going to do the reviewception. We got the Roach King. We got Asmund Gold. We finally did it, boys.
Reviewception.
Boys, we did it. And it wasn't because I'm a good video maker, because I'm not. I'm actually garbage. In the YouTube world, I am like beyond poverty. Which I know. But there are people here. So this is actually a Hero High video. Hero High video, but Asmund reviewed it.
Hero High?
And his video relies heavily on your boy here, Legal Mindset. So we did finally get it. We did finally do it, boys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it when there's something to clarify, because there's a lot of stuff to clarify or to put some more detail on. But we got it, guys. We're doing it.
Since I talked about Johnny Somali, it's just like a never-ending character arc of lameness with this weirdo. Dude never really learns a lesson. It's pathetic.
He's YouTube content gold.
And it's like max level cringe to watch anything involving this guy. However, this did catch my attention.
Dumb.
Hopping over to the man, Legal Mindset. Tweet from March 6th yesterday. Legal Mindset says Ramsey's first day of trial just concluded. Ramsey being Johnny Somali. He was 1 hour late and came in with his roommate Hank. Both Ramsey's lawyer and Ramsey had no idea about the new charges. So
I wonder what the lawyer was thinking.
The lawyer was thinking, what the f***? The lawyer was thinking, what the f***? And the lawyer was also like, I can't believe there's more to deal with this guy.
Because, like, I mean, is this like whenever you're on a team in like a competitive game and like you just know, like, you know, the first minute into the game, this is going to be a steamroll. And so you're like, okay, I've just got to put in the time, get my check, and get out of here.
Push the next trial date for 3 weeks from today, April 9th. Johnny pled guilty to all the other charges.
I would be too.
Details on those charges below. Ramsey was also clearly wearing Hank's white suit, and we got a picture that we'll take a look at after this tweet. But yeah, he says, which was wildly oversized, but had an ebony ivory
Oh my gosh.
vibe going on with Hank's black suit.
I'm glad, like, you saw his eyebrows. He was like, what? What? I'm like, we're all going what? We were all going what with this dude?
Yeah,
Well, that walked in. Everybody, because it was so clearly coordinated between the two of them. Like, it was clearly coordinated. Once again, some people say, oh, Andrew, why do you focus on that? Why I focus on that is without the help, to be very clear, and this is very serious, right? Without the help and assistance of Hank, Han Jung-yu, Ramsey would be done. He would be broken. He would have already been like in serious trouble if it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, he had nowhere to go. So without Hank, he basically survived a few more months. Without Hank, he would probably be done by now.
Wasn't for Hank, right? So yeah, do not do not mess that around. Hank has been essential, and if you want to know who Hank is, watch my last stream. Hank has been key to him getting stuff done in Korea. So yeah.
was also told twice to take off his MAGA hat.
Why is he wearing a? It's just
outside the Somali courtroom. And yeah, we can see legal mindset there outside Somali's courtroom. This is dedication to covering legal stuff. This man flew to Korea to cover.
Bro, did this guy get the? He got this from the Matrix, man.
I got it from Itaewon, baby. I'm glad he likes my suit.
That's Neo's trench coat.
For this Johnny Somali trial, I can certainly respect the grind. And it's a nice coat, classy look. I like to Johnny Somali.
Oh my god. Oh man. Wow.
We can see here's a picture of Somali with Hank going to that South Korean court.
Jesus.
People
and Hank is not that big, so if Johnny's shorter, it's bad. And Johnny wears lifts too, so.
Pointing out once again that Somali's outfit's looking quite a bit oversized for him. And then there's this one, you know.
What a fucking clown.
He's thrilled to be there. This is what he loves to do.
Look at the once again, look at the fitting on that suit. It is like a parachute on him. It's ridiculous.
Oh my god. I guess this was probably before the court case. Yeah, this is probably beforehand. So he's actually, why does he have... The thing is, like, this wouldn't really look so bad. If he had, like, a red tie on, it would actually look kind of good. Why do you have a blue tie? I guess it's red, white, and blue for America. Which, by the way, I don't know if this guy is from America, but I hope South Korea puts him in jail so he stays over there. Yeah, I don't know if he's from America or not. Probably.
To be a giant clown on the internet.
He's
for
American?
However, that I'll show you at the end of this brief video paints a bit of a different picture as he's like freaking out trying to cope with the whole thing. But yeah, we'll get to that. Oh, and there was also this. South Korea's National Intelligence Service visited Johnny Somali, who told him he was under investigation for the National Security Violation Act. Gee, could it be because Johnny Somali supports North Korean communism and wants South Korea nuked? Yeah, I guess that...
he has said that multiple times. And in several TTS, text-to-speech messages, they played either the national anthem or propaganda, or said in Korean that he wanted to like nuke all Koreans and he wanted to destroy South Korea and, you know, hail Kim Jong-un. So this is stuff that happened like over and over and over and over again. In multiple times, multiple public places, it was disruptive. It was obviously meant to be confrontational. So it wasn't just like there's a one-off thing where he said, I love North Korea, and he's thrown in jail just for that. This is something that happened. And if you watch these streams, it's hours and hours and hours and hours of it happening. It's not just it happened once and that's it. It happened over and over and over and over again. So this is the real issue with Johnny Somali is he did it for days and days at a time.
Literally said, I love Kim Jong-un. I hope he nukes this shit when I leave. Like, and like, because I was like, why would the national security, like, why would they want to talk to this guy? And yeah, he was like, he's totally like, yeah, I love North Korea. I think North Korea is great.
That one is still unfolding, but hopping back over to the current trial and the current charges. That takes us back over to Legal Mindset, who's got more info. He says... Reminder, Ramsey faces a total of 4 charges.
That's a lot of charges.
2 counts of...
It's actually, to be fair now, correction, it's now 5. So it's now 5, and the 5th is deepfakes, and that's in the Eastern District, but that hasn't come to court yet. It's in the prosecutor's office, but it's going to come to court eventually. So we know that one's going to go forward because of Johnny and how he exposed things. So you're going to have 5, but this was before we knew about, before I was talking about that. And I was talking about the Western District here. So I wasn't talking about the Eastern District. So I was talking about specifically this case. It was kind of a response to that thread. So in the Western District of Seoul, he has 4 charges. There's other districts where he can have charges. And we know the Eastern District is going to have some. So just understand that. Let's continue.
Of obstruction of business and 2 violations of the Minor Crimes Act. Today he pled guilty to 1 count of obstruction, convenience store.
I remember that
and
one.
2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act, dead fish harassment, and disrupting subway/bus.
Oh my God.
All right, now I'll play a very brief portion of Legal Mindset's stream. He's got some very interesting info regarding this additional charge and also the judge.
Here we go. The judge was a different judge. Yeah, so there's 100% a different judge. So I went to this same courtroom in December to figure out the correct judge because we wanted to see what type of judge it was. Was he young? Was he old? Was he strict? How did he sentence? Right. So, and I didn't talk about this very much because I want to keep it secret from Ramsey. They changed the judge, which explains why new charges were added because now there's a new judge. The new judge comes in.
They're tag teaming on him, bro.
It's a normal rotation. It's not a tag team. It's a normal rotation. And I talked about this, that it's normal for them to rotate in the spring. So I know it's a joke to tag team, but it is a normal rotation.
He's getting 2v1. That's not fair.
I do agree with legal mindset. Update stuff. This judge was very no nonsense, but
thank God.
Ramsey thinks he got away with not being noticed at some things he did. The judge noticed. And the judge was like, "What the?"
What did he do?
Okay, so I don't mention it here, and Hero High clipped me in a way that is confusing. So let me clarify. What he did was he stuck his tongue out at me twice. The judge saw it. He was laughing. The judge saw it. He had his hands in the pocket. The judge saw it. Right? He was pretending he didn't speak English and didn't know numbers. The judge definitely got that because he said it. Right? He kept looking back and looking at us in the audience, and the judge noticed that. So all that was noticed by the judge. And the judge also got his general demeanor. And so these are things that Ramsey think he's slick and the judge doesn't see. The judge was looking literally right at him. Right at him. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's continue here. So I got you past that picture.
Once again, that's an extremely brief portion of Legal Mindset's full stream, which was around 2.5 hours long. So yeah, there's a whole lot more that he has to say, and I'll link that stream in the description for you. And we'll conclude this coverage by showing you how Johnny Somali was doing right before court, and it looks like he's trying to...
Man, this guy's looking at South Korean prison for 10 years. I think maybe South Korea, in an effort to restore some degree of diplomatic relations with North Korea, they could make a system to where if they really don't like you and you're a foreigner and you come to Korea and you cause problems,
I see where you're going with this.
They send you to North Korea. And then North Korea deals with you.
I'm here for
North
that.
Korea can take these people and basically just be it's like a punishment, right? Put them in a work camp or something like that, right? What if it reunites them? Yeah, this is the beginning of a very, very beautiful diplomatic relationship. 10 years is crazy. Is it really crazy? I mean, yeah, it is crazy. It's a lot.
No, but this is where I think Asman doesn't understand the fundamental issue with the crime spree, and also the fact that there's even other charges like the deep fakes, and there's ones that haven't even been charged. So even the 10 years he's facing as a max penalty, first of all, he's not going to get he wouldn't get a max penalty necessarily, but it actually is well deserved because he went on a criminal spree, and they do consider that totality when they're thinking about the sentencing and thinking about the whether or not to give a harsh sentence or a less harsh sentence, because Johnny has decided to go on this criminal spree and say that Korea is open for business because they're a U.S. colony, right? So he can do whatever he wants, and he can get away with whatever he wants, and he can get drunk and do whatever he wants in Korea because, well, it's a U.S. colony. It's a U.S. vassal state. That's his statement. That's what he said.
Very consecutively went ahead and did a bunch of annoying harassment things. He did this constantly, right? He's sitting around spamming Hiroshima, Nagasaki, which are the two cities that the U.S. bombed in Japan. He's spamming this in Korea and saying it to Koreans. Really? It's a real ass. Why not kick him out of the country? Because kicking him out of the country is the best case scenario for him. And so what I'm saying is that when a person gets punished for something that they're doing wrong, the goal also should be to how can we create an incentive mechanism that will prevent other people from doing this in the future. And the fact is that him going to jail for 10 years is a much better incentive for people to not do it in the future than him getting deported. That's the truth. Because there's a reason why people act a fool in Japan and not China. There's a reason why people act a fool in Korea, but not in North Korea. There's a reason why people act a fool in the U.S., let's say, in some nice upper middle class Starbucks, but they don't go and do this down in Detroit. And everybody knows the reason. Almost all of these people, they are making calculated decisions on who they harass, how they harass them, and where they go to harass people. Because they don't want to take a risk of getting shot or going to jail. That's the truth. They know this. That's why none of them would even dare do this. Imagine doing this in Saudi Arabia. They would never do that. They would never do that because they're terrified of maybe getting killed, right? Or just getting plain knocked out. Exactly. So once you understand that, and that's why so many of these obnoxious, aggressive streamers go to places like Japan.
This is very true, by the way. This is all true. This is all facts. He's all spitting. Like, I'm not stopping Asman here because this is all 100% facts. Like, there absolutely is a bias towards going to countries that are perceived as nice and kind. And this is why this is why the nuisance streamers are fighting me so hard, because they want Japan and Korea on the board, because they want to continue to exploit Asia, right? Asia is a very safe.
Yeah, they assume Asia is the safe space or their hunting ground, per se.
Easy place for them to exploit with nuisance streaming.
They do, because it's basically a PvE server. And so you're going to a PvE server and you're doing...
Yeah, also there's a reason they don't go down to the south. In America, Americans don't go down to south like Texas or Alabama and try this because they get knocked out.
In PvP, and big surprise, you have to set an example out of somebody like that. You do. Wouldn't even hear about it. Yeah. And Japan's PvE server, yeah, they're not doing it in Singapore. I'm not sure about that. I bet Koreans...
Singapore would not go too well for them. That'd be the same as going... Singapore, you might die. You might end up dead.
Taxpayers would support keeping him in jail as long as they feel like it. Yeah, I think so. So this is the perspective I have. I think it's a very good thing that they're punishing him a lot, because I think that he's the example that other people will use for not going to Korea and acting a fool.
Because, like, I'm being nice to you guys, it's just sickening, it's disgusting, and I regret watching it. The guy's, like, licking liquor off the floor, like, sucking it off the floor, and it's just nasty.
He's sucking his own vomit. So understand, guys, he vomited. So he vomited, and then he licked it up. And part of what he, like, spilled and like, vomited, like, he was, like, licking back up, like, his, like, backwash, and it was dirty off the floor. Like, it was just nasty. It was just real... And once again, you can't play this stuff.
That's disgusting.
And that's why I don't want to play it, and I'm not going to play it. It's just absolutely disgusting.
I'm giving y'all the first viral moment tonight.
So true. What was he saying?
I'm giving y'all the first viral moment tonight.
True.
Yeah, so there's also a part where he spills the liquor, starts licking it off the floor, then spits some of it up. It's even more disgusting.
Yeah.
At some point, almost pukes, and you get the point. Typical Johnny Somali stuff. But hey, at least he's got his bros in chat with them, like this one that says,
yeah,
he's not going to miss court. Let him chill with all of us until he feels like he needs to stop or sleep a bit or whatever.
How do you simp for this guy?
His chat is trolling him.
Well, either because there's two types of people. I figured it out. There's two types of people. Otherwise, I mean, there are some that, there's some that are really, really dumb. That is one sector of them. But there's another sector that I believe generally want him to be harmed. So I think there's a group of people that actually hate him, but they donate to him to see him get harmed. It's almost like right? Like they want to see him get harmed, right? So there was one, and I think there's more than one, that was trying to make him miss court, for sure. Absolutely. They wanted him to miss court.
Have you been seriously injured on the job or as a result of someone else? For over...
Yeah, so that's that. Wait. Yeah, that's that. Okay, one last thing before I go. As you know, I cover the K-pop section, so follow this over my, my K-pop YouTube videos and stuff, because gain and stuff. So, but that's outside that, I'm gone. I'll see you next week, or unless I make a video this week. And to anyone watching this after the stream's over, like the video, like the stream, subscribe, and comment your opinion in the after stream. Until next week, see ya.
Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
And a quest for a champion begins today.
The anticipation has been building, and it is finally time. We are live.
That is a really... Can you get over the roof there? Oh my.
Oh my, what a play, what a grab!
Another jump here off the high ground. Super goes forward but gets stuck up. The EMP comes in and ding, he rains down hell from above. Here comes Pine. Gets one, gets two. Looking for a bit more, gets another one. Tuno's down again. That heralds disaster generally for the Fusion. And Carpe wasn't far behind. Prophet, he's killed 4 players now on his own. From Vancouver, locks him in the sound barrier. Sound is huge. The bomb coming in from John. Oh my God, he does it again.
One of them moving onto the Widowmaker, taking the clutch into his own hands. The headshot after headshot after headshot.
Okay, I like this for the Gladiators. We're going to try and circle around. I'm going to call this very good because it makes me laugh. Makes me happy, and Sean Paul switches to the Widowmaker and just the right time. Oh, the Graven!
shit in the world.
Oh my word!
I mean, you could have told me that you spoke English, honestly.
The fans never thought they'd see this day. It took 43 matches. Feels like a really emotional moment here.
사랑해, 사랑해.
All right, bye.